Namo Buddhaya. The chapter 41st of the large sutra on perfect wisdom, the Satasahasrika Prajnaparamita Sutram, the absence of Mara's hosts. Maladjustment between the zealous and the indolent. Furthermore, it may be that the pupil is zealous to copy out this perfection of wisdom, to recite, explain, and repeat it, whereas the teacher is indolent. Maladjustment through geographical separation, although both be zealous. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher is untiring in his desire to copy out, etc., this deep perfection of wisdom, whereas the pupils move off into a different district. Or vice versa, the pupils want to copy, etc., the perfection of wisdom, but the teacher moves into a different district. The one values gain and honor, the other is easily satisfied. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher attaches weight to gain honor and fame, and is passionately fond of robes, food, lodgings, and offers supply of medicinal appliances for sickness, whereas the pupils have few wishes, are easily contented, energetic, mindful, inwardly collected, one-pointed in their thought, and wise. This discord affecting the copying, etc., of the perfection of wisdom should also be known as Mara's deed to the bodhisattvas. Or, on the contrary, the teacher may have few wishes, be easily contented, quite detached, energetic, etc., to wise, whereas their pupils have many wishes and attached to gain honor and fame, and to robes, food, lodgings, and medicinal appliances for use in sickness. This also is the deed of the evil one. The one has undergone austerities, the other has not. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher is a forest dweller, or begs his food from door to door without accepting invitations, or wears clothes made of rags taken from dung heaps, or never eats any food after midday, or eats his meal in one sitting, or lives on alms food, inhabits and frequents cemeteries, or lives in an open, unsheltered place, or dwells at the foot of a tree, or even in his sleep remains in a sitting posture, or sleeps at night wherever he may happen to be, or possesses no more than 3 robes, whereas the pupils undergo none of these ascetic practices. Or, on the contrary, a pupil undergoes the ascetic practices, whereas the teacher does not. This discourse is another deed of Mara, which affects the study of the perfection of wisdom. The one is lovely in his character, the other is not. Furthermore, it may be that the pupil is full of faith, lovely in his character, and desirous of copying, expounding, and repeating this deep perfection of wisdom, whereas the teacher has no faith, is not lovely in his character, and does not desire to copy, expound, and repeat this deep perfection of wisdom. Or, on the contrary, it may be that the teacher is full of faith, lovely in his character, and desirous of giving this deep perfection of wisdom so that it may be copied out and its meaning understood, whereas none of this is found in the pupil. This discord is another deed of Mara which affects the study of the perfection of wisdom. The one is generous, the other stingy. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher is one who gives away everything without niggardliness in his heart, whereas the pupil is stingy, with many wishes, with evil wishes, and attached way to gain honor, fame, robes, etc. On the other hand, it may be that the pupil is the one who gives away everything and has no niggardliness in his heart, whereas the teacher is stingy and niggardly. This discord is another deed of Mara which affects the study of the perfection of wisdom. The one is willing to give advice, the other not willing to accept. Furthermore, it may be that the pupil is willing to give robes, etc., to the teacher, but that the teacher is not willing to accept them. This discordant deed of Mara also affects the study of perfection of wisdom. On the other hand, it may be that the teacher is willing to accept from the pupil, but the pupil is not willing to give this discord again as Mara's work. The one requires a brief explanation, and the other gives a detailed one. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher understands as soon as the main points are mentioned, whereas the pupil needs elaborate instructions, cannot understand unless all the details are explained, and insists on verbal expressions being elaborately explained. Or conversely, the pupil understands at a mere hint, whereas the teacher needs lengthy explanations. This discords again Mara's work. The one has the higher knowledge of the Dharma as expounded in the sutras, while the other has not. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher knows the exposition of Dharma, Dharmantara, no. The discourses in prose and verse mingled, predictions versus summaries, origins, thus was said, birth stories, expounded texts, marvels, tales, and expositions, whereas the pupils do not. This discord also is Mara's work. The one is endowed with the six perfections, the other is not. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher is endowed with the six perfections, whereas the pupil is not, or alternatively, the pupils may be endowed with the six perfections, whereas the teacher is not. This discord also is Mara's work. The one has skill and means, the other has not. Furthermore, the teacher may have skills and means with regard to the six perfections, whereas the pupils have none. Alternatively, the pupils have skill and means with regard to the six perfections, whereas the teacher has none. This discord also is Mara's work. The one has a powerful memory, the other has not. Furthermore, the teacher may have acquired the dharanis, whereas the pupils have none. This discord also is Mara's work. The one loves to write, etc., this text, the other does not. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher is willing to copy out, bear it in mind, recite and repeat, etc., to attend, whereas the pupils have no such desire, so it may be that the pupils have who are willing to copy out, etc., whereas the teacher has no such desire. This discord also is Mara's work. The one has sense desires, etc., the other is free from them. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher is free from sense desire, ill will, sloth, and torpor, excitedness, and sense of guilt or doubt, whereas the pupils are not free from them, or alternatively, the pupils are free from the hindrances, whereas the teacher is not. This discord also is Mara's work. The aversion to being reborn in this state of woe. Moreover, someone will come along to those who copy, etc., who develop this deep perfection of wisdom and disparage life in the hells among the animals of the predators. Or the predators saying, so ill are the hells, so ill is the animal world, so ill is life among the predators. Do make an end to ill just here and now. What point is there in your fully knowing the supreme enlightenment? This is another one of Mara's deeds. Delight at the thought of going to a blissful existence. Moreover, someone will come along to those who copy, etc., who wisely attend to the perfection of wisdom and praise life among the kinds of gods. So happy is life among the gods in the world of sense desire because of the enjoyment of sense pleasures, in the world of form because of the trances and transit attainments, and in the formless world because of its calm. All this, however, is impermanent, ill, empty, not the self of or belonging to a self, doomed or reversal, false, cessation, and stopping. Do attain the fruit of extreme winner just here and now, etc. To do attain the enlightenment of a Pratika Buddha just here and now. Do not err about in samsara for a long time. This is another one of Mara's deeds. The one is fond of solitude, the other of company. Furthermore, it may be that the teacher lives alone without a second and does everything by and for himself, whereas the pupil prefers the company of others. Or conversely, the pupil may live alone, whereas the teacher prefers the company of others. This discord also is Mara's deed. The pupil wishes to associate with the teacher who gives him no opportunity. Furthermore, the teacher may say to those who come to where I am, I will give this perfection of wisdom so that they can copy it, etc., to develop. And whereas the pupil refuses to come. Conversely, the pupil may wish to go where the teacher is, but the teacher gives him no opportunity to do so. This is another one of Mara's deeds. The one needs some material help, the other is unwilling to give it. Furthermore, the teacher is willing to give this perfection of wisdom in return for some material help, but the pupils doesn't wish to approach him for fear of having not to offer it. This is another one of Mara's deeds. The one goes to a palace of danger, to a place of danger, the other to a safe place. Furthermore, the teacher may want to go to a district where he is in danger of his life, but the pupil doesn't want to go there, or conversely, the pupil may want to go to a district where he is in danger of his life, but the teacher doesn't want to go there. This is another one of Mara's deeds. The teacher goes to a place which is short of food, and the pupil refuses to come with him. Furthermore, the teacher may want to go to a place which is short of food and water, but the pupil will not want to go there, or the teacher may have gone to a place where there is plenty of food and water, and the pupils will follow him there. He, however, will say to them, "You may think that it is a good thing for you to come here because you think that your material needs will be supplied, but I am afraid that you will regret having come when you see how little alms food can be had here." In this way, the teacher refuses Dharma by means of a subtle device, and they will in disgust interpret his marks as signs of refusal and not as signs of willingness to give. This is another one of Mara's deeds. The teacher goes to a place haunted by robbers, etc. Furthermore, the monk who is a teacher may move to a place where there is danger from robbers, outcasts, desperados, fierce beasts of prey, vipers, wild jungles, and treacherous roads. And the pupils who wish to hear this deep perfection of wisdom will follow him there. To them, this monk will say, "Why do you want to go where there are all these dangers?" Though the pupils desirous of hearing this deep perfection of wisdom are willing to follow the teacher, the monk who is the teacher doesn't wish to teach them and doesn't wish to see to it that this deep perfection of wisdom is copied out and proclaimed or heard. Having heard the teacher's remark, they do, in their disgust, not go to where he goes. This is another one of Mara's deeds. The teacher likes to see the families who feed him. Furthermore, the teacher may be one of those who attach weight to their relations with the families who give them alms, constantly go to see them and refuse their prospective pupils on the ground that they have to see those families and pay visits to them. Refuse those pupils will turn back. This is another one of Mara's deeds. Mara, the evil one, makes an effort to dissuade from wisdom. Moreover, Mara, the evil one, is the guise of a monk, distorts himself to prevent, by many devices, anyone who from copying this perfection of wisdom, etc., to from attending to it, subhuti. For what reason does he do so? Because it results of the perfection of wisdom, all beings can forsake their defilements. Moreover, Mara, the evil one, will come along in the guise of a monk in order to cause dissension. And he will say that this sutra, as it has come to you, is not the perfection of wisdom, in order to dissuade people from copying, etc., the perfection of wisdom. Moreover, approaching in the guise of a monk, Mara, the evil one, will say, Bodhisattva, of course, is in this the perfection of wisdom realizes their reality limit and attains the fruit of extreme winner, etc., to the enlightenment of a particular Buddha. Some of those who have heard those words will then not course in the perfection of wisdom. This is another one of Mara's deeds. Mara arranges a counterfeit perfection of wisdom. Moreover, to those who copy, etc., to develop this perfection of wisdom, many deeds of Mara will arise which will cause obstacles, and Bodhisattva should avoid them. Subhuti. Which are the deeds of Mara that a Bodhisattva should recognize and avoid? The Lord. Mara will produce counterfeits of the perfection of wisdom and the other perfections, and of the 18 kinds of emptiness. Other of his deeds will be connected with the disciples and particular Buddhas, and he will say, "Study these and then attain the fruit of extreme winner," etc., to our hardship. Develop these 4 applications of mindfulness, etc., to the wishless door to deliverance. What is the point of your fully knowing the supreme enlightenment? In this way, Mala will arrange many deeds of this kind. Mara produces a longing for undesirable things. Moreover, Mara, the evil one, will approach in the guise of a Buddha with a body all shining like gold and the halo extending from a fathom around him. When the Bodhisattva has seen him, longing will rise up in him and he will fail to win all knowledge. Moreover, Mara, the evil one, will exhibit in front of those sons and daughters of good family a community of monks headed by the Buddha. Dongin will thereupon arise in the Bodhisattva and he will think that I also will at a future period be such a Tathagata, and I will likewise foster a host of monks. As this Tathagata, so will I also demonstrate Dharma. As a result of this longing, he will fail to win all knowledge. Moreover, Mara, the evil one, will exhibit many hundreds and thousands of bodhisattvas who course in six perfections. Some bodhisattvas will feel longing for those illusory magical creations conjured by Mara, and as a result, they will fail to win all knowledge. And why? Because in this deep perfection of wisdom, no form exists, no feeling, etc., no enlightenment. And when no form exists, etc., no enlightenment, there are also Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and disciples do not exist. And why? Because all dharmas are in their own being empty. The Buddha's great might is illustrated by the simile of the precious things in Jambudvipa and so on. Moreover, this perfection of wisdom will be bound up with many obstacles for those who bear it in mind, recite, explain, and study it, and wisely attend to it. Just as the precious things that there are in Jambudvipa, such as gold gems, pearls, lapis lazuli, conch shells, crystals, coral, silver, etc., are subject to many obstacles and provoke much hostility. Just so those who copy, etc., to develop this deep perfection of wisdom will endure many obstacles and much hostility. Subhuti. So it is, O Lord, so it is, O Sugata. The sutras associated with the perfection of wisdom will provoke much hostility. Beset by Mara of small and sluggish intelligence will be those deluded persons who will cause obstacles to this deep perfection of wisdom being copied, etc., to being developed. Nor will their intelligence be able to function in these very sublime dharmas if they do not copy, etc., to develop this deep perfection of wisdom, or if they cause obstacles to those who copy, etc., to develop it. The Lord, so it is, Subhuta, so it is, those people who will not copy out, etc., to wisely attend to this deep perfection of wisdom, and who will cause obstacles to it being copied out, etc., to develop, they will be beset by Mara. They will have newly set out in the vehicle. They have planted no wholesome roots, have but tiny wholesome roots, have not done their duties under the genius of the past, and have not been taken hold of by the good spiritual friends. Small, sluggish, and limited will be their intelligence, and their thought will be unable to stride up into a very sublime dharmas. But although these deeds of Mara are bound to arise when this deep perfection of wisdom is being copied out, etc., is being developed, nevertheless, it is due to the Buddha's might that often no deeds of Mara and no obstacles arise to the study of this deep perfection of wisdom, and that in addition, sons and daughters of good family can perfect the other five perfections, as well as the emptinesses, etc., to the Buddha dharmas and the knowledge of all modes. Those Buddhas and lords who abide in the 10 directions and demonstrate Dharma will make efforts on behalf of those sons and daughters of good family who copy out, etc., to attend to this deep perfection of wisdom, and so will the irreversible bodhisattvas in the 10 directions, and they will bring help. It is as with a woman who has many children, 5, 10, 20, 40, 50, or 100, 1,000, or 100,000. If she feels ill, they will all exert themselves so that their mother may not meet with any obstacle to her life, so that she may live long, so that no unpleasant touch may hit her body. For they feel that she is their genetrix and has given them their body and their life. They will therefore look well after their mother, protect her well, and hope that she will meet with no obstacle to her life, that her body will not become excessively weak, and that she be free from pain caused by stinging insects, mosquitoes, crawling animals, by a fall, or by cold, hunger, or thirst. In this way, the sons give their mother everything that can make her happy, make much of her, and cherish her, because they are aware that she has instructed them in the ways of the world. In this way, the Tathagatas bring this deep perfection of wisdom constantly and always to mind with their Buddha eye. And why? Because they are aware that this deep perfection of wisdom is the genetics of the Tathagatas and the instructors in the cognition of all the Buddha Dharmas and the maker of the world. And the Buddhas and the Lords who abide in all the 10 directions in countless world systems, they also constantly and always bring to mind us just this deep perfection of wisdom with their Buddha eye. And why? Because this deep perfection of wisdom is the genetics of the Tathagatas and their instructors in the cognition of the all-knowing. It is because of this that the Tathagatas, motivated by gratitude, constantly and always bring this deep perfection of wisdom to mind with their Buddha eye. And why? From it have come forth for the Tathagatas in the 6 perfections, the 18 kinds of emptinesses, etc., the 18 Buddha Dharmas, the 6 super knowledges, the knowledge of all modes, of all the Buddhas, the countless and numberless Buddha Dharmas. From it have come forth the stream winners, etc., to the Tathagatas, arhats, fully enlightened Buddhas. All the Tathagatas who have known, do know, and will know the supreme enlightenment. They all do so thanks to the deep perfection of wisdom. And those followers of the great vehicle who will copy out this deep perfection of wisdom, etc., to attend to it, they also will all be brought to mind constantly and always by the Tathagatas with their Buddha eye. And the Tathagatas will constantly and always arrange for them shelter, defense, and protection so that they may not fail to win the supreme enlightenment. This is the end of 31st chapter of the large Sutra on perfect wisdom, the Satasahasrika Prajnaparamita Sutram.